Today's WNEM TV5 Morning Extra is brought to you by Roof Max of Midland.
Former University of Michigan coach Sharon Moore is set to be formally charged today. The new details of that investigation coming up.
Plus, a possible holdup for hyperscale data centers wanting to come to Michigan, the pushback from the Michigan's Attorney General.
And a meeting about a proposed solar farm in Flynn Township. We'll have the next phase of that project and what decision was made. Thanks so much for joining us live this morning for this TV5 Morning Extra. I'm Christine Winter.
And I'm Lauren Piesco. Let's check in with First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro, who's tracking our chilly forecast this morning. Matthew, what should we expect?
Yeah, Lauren, Christine, for today, certainly a cold start to the day. Now, we can expect temps to go back into the mid to upper 20s for this afternoon. Some areas, though, starting off at 0 degrees this morning. I will say, though, despite the cold start, it's actually a pretty quiet daytime that we have ahead of us. Snow showers will return as we go into tonight, just a brief period of some scattered snow showers. And then I'm also first alerting you to a cold weekend ahead of us, even a little bit colder than this. Take a look at our temperatures right now. -2 in Caro. We have 3 in West Branch, though. It's still 12 degrees in Flint, and a lot of our southern and western areas have stayed slightly warmer than other areas to the east. That's just because of the cloud coverage we've been holding on to towards the southwest. So for the bus stops this morning, students no doubt need to bundle up. The afternoon bus stops, well, parents, when you're picking your students up later on, it'll actually feel a lot like yesterday with those temps into the mid to upper 20s. And also for this morning, if you have any commuting to do, main roads are pretty much back to normal as of this point, but still first alerting you to some icy side roads and residential areas too. We'll take a look at that snow predictor though for tonight, coming up soon. Lauren, Christine, back to you.
Developing this morning, former Michigan football coach Sharon Moore is set to be formally charged today and face a judge. Now, Pittsfield Township Public Safety says it is part of an ongoing investigation into a report of assault. Moore was arrested on Wednesday and taken to the Washtenaw County Jail. It came just hours after he was fired from his job with U of M for what the school called an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. He remains in jail as the county prosecutor looks at possible charges. Stay with TV5 for an update on this developing story. And still unfolding in Genesee County, a Burton man is now charged with several felonies. He's accused of breaking into a bakery in Grand Blanc Township. Prosecutors say 19-year-old William Knott broke into Cinnamon on Saginaw Street 3 times over the past few weeks. He's charged not only with breaking and entering, but also malicious destruction of property and resisting and obstructing police. His bond is set at $2,000.
We're working every day to try to make this a win for Michigan.
A possible holdup for hyperscale data centers wanting to come to Michigan.
Newly approved safeguards are in place for how Consumers Energy would charge facilities that use a lot of energy, like data centers. But Attorney General Dana Nessel wants to overturn these new safeguards with stricter ones.
And that's something Consumers Energy is fighting. So right now, an order says any users of 100 megawatts would have to sign a minimum 15-year contract for electricity and pay for 80% of their contracted power, even if they use less. But Attorney General Nessel filed a petition this week because she believes the Michigan Public Service Commission didn't consider her recommendations and says the order doesn't do enough to protect people. She also adds it should be applied to any users of 50 megawatts or more, and large energy users should sign a 20-year contract for electricity. Plus, businesses should pay for 90% of their contracted load. Consumers Energy says that legal filing only brings more unneeded uncertainty.
We think Michigan has really good energy and environmental protections, and we want to leverage the billions of dollars of investment, the thousands of construction jobs, the millions of dollars of local property taxes that these data centers can bring with them. And our concern is if we make the regulations too onerous, they're just going to choose to not invest in Michigan.
Well, the Attorney General's office says, in part, Consumers Energy falsely contends the Attorney General's position is anti-investment. It is not, though AG Nessel will continue to use the powers of her office to ensure the utility monopolies in this state act responsibly to their existing residential customers and not allow them to be harmed by the company's pursuits of new data center customers. The Public Service Commission will now decide if it will have a rehearing on its November order.
The Flint Township Planning Commission hosting a public hearing on a proposed solar farm last night.
Yeah, after presentations and community comments, the commission voted to approve a special use permit, moving the project into its next phase. The community had a chance to hear from developers with AC Power 36 LLC, who laid out its plan to build a solar farm on land many know as community soccer fields at 1200 South Linden Road, not far from West Court Street. Those fields sit on property privately owned by Racer Properties, a former landfill later turned into recreational space.
We have to protect our constituency, but we also have to be open for expansion. You heard me say we want to be business user friendly, and we do.
Developers say the plan calls for roughly 10,000 solar panels across the 28 acres parcel of land. The approved permit allows them to fine-tune the design and move deeper into that review process. Township officials say more updated project details will come as the next review phase begins. The Planning Commission's next meeting will be January 8th at 6 p.m.
In continuing coverage, a Roscommon County commissioner is now charged with sex crimes involving a teenager. State police say David Russo of Houghton Lake started a sexual relationship with a boy beginning in 2022. That investigation started in August. He was arrested last month. He was charged this week with 3 counts of criminal sexual conduct and 1 count of contributing to delinquency of a minor. In more local news now, Bay City Academy is expanding to downtown with a community resource and office space that's brand new. And leaders with the charter school say the newly renovated space on Saginaw Street will serve as a central hub for administrative operations and staff collaborations and community engagement. To celebrate the expansion, the Bay Area Chamber of Commerce is hosting a ribbon-cutting ceremony Tuesday afternoon. Staff say the school has experienced 8 consecutive years of enrollment growth.
Well, we all know how expensive holiday shopping can be, especially for families struggling to afford gifts right now. But there is a way you can help give those kids in need their gifts. The Angel Tree program first started with the Salvation Army and has now spread to more nonprofits across the country, including right here in mid-Michigan. When a parent signs their child up for the program, they list their child's likes, needs, and wants, and then someone from the community can take that information and shop for that child.
And when you have that type of pressure and you have to decide between an electric bill and a gift for your kid, that's a very stressful, traumatic, you start to feel like you're failing your family or your kids, or you're worried about how they're going to react and be sad. We're hoping that the kids and the parents have a little more hope, a little more optimism, a little more dignity, and a lot more fun.
Angel trees can be found at stores like Walmart and Sam's Club. We want to note not all of these stores are participating. To find an angel tree near you, visit the Salvation Army's website. The Genesee County Sheriff's Office is kicking off its 6th annual holiday spectacular today from 9 a.m. to noon. Volunteers and deputies will be packing hundreds of blessing boxes at the Northgate warehouse. Those are filled with food, toys, and household essentials. Then tomorrow morning at 9, teams will personally deliver those boxes to families in need throughout Genesee County. And volunteers are still needed. Just stop by the Sheriff's Office today or tomorrow to help out.
Well, you are joining us live for TV5 Morning Extra.
Still ahead, the community donating hundreds of boxes of personal hygiene items for local veterans.
And if you've missed a story, we invite you to catch up on our YouTube channel. And for the latest updates, you can like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram. Matthew has your first alert forecast next.
It's been a cold morning across mid-Michigan. As we go into this Friday, though, other than the cold weather, it's actually a pretty quiet day that we have ahead of us. We even have a little bit of sun that'll come in for the morning, but eventually some cloud coverage does return for the remainder of the daytime. Right now, though, wind chills into the single digits, and they'll only be into the mid to upper teens for the afternoon. Again, cloud coverage building up as we go throughout today. We are expecting a few isolated snow showers near dinner time as we go into the evening, but our best chance of snow showers will be the middle of tonight between roughly midnight and 3 a.m. That's with a cold front moving across our area. So with those snow showers out of here very early tomorrow morning, that just means the rest of Saturday is actually pretty quiet too. We could have just a lingering lake effect snow shower, but any coverage of that would be pretty sparse. Now for tonight, we expect about 1/2 of an inch to an inch of snowfall. So certainly on the low end of the scale for these snow totals as well. A little bit more of a fluffy snow given the colder temperatures too. Now going into the weekend, we are tracking a much colder weekend, especially tomorrow because of that cold front moving through. In fact, most of your Saturday, that's going to be in the single digits. We officially only have a high of about 14 for tomorrow, and then on Sunday only up to about 21 degrees. We are tracking minimal snow shower chances for the entirety of the weekend too. So if anything, just want you to know that it is going to be a cold weekend. Something to keep in mind if you have any outdoor plans. Maybe you're doing some sledding with the kids this weekend too, or you're doing some holiday shopping. You'll definitely want to bundle up. Now with all these cold temperatures, it is helping to build up some more ice on some rivers and streams and even on the Saginaw Bay. Now the ice isn't going quite this far out in the bay, but still it is highlighting at least we do have more ice that's building up on the bay. So definitely some good news for our ice fishers, but just a word of caution, not all of that is safe ice just yet. For this weekend, also a pretty good weekend for some skiing. Mount Holly and Mount Brighton both have a pretty good base built up. Snowmobilers, I think this will be a good weekend for you as well, but take advantage of this weekend because take a look at these temperatures as we go into next week. We have 37 on Wednesday, 39 on Thursday. We're actually tracking rain showers both of those days as well. The hope is that we won't see too much of an impact to our ice or the snowpack that we already have. However, that is going to be pretty warm, especially after this cold weekend. So really, again, just bundle up for this weekend. We have single digit overnight lows as well. And then going towards the second half of next week, those temps will be back above freezing.
All right, Matthew, thank you. And more local news now. People in Midland, we want to give you a reminder. Consumers Energy will be beginning work on the East Lawn substation this weekend. The utility company says a brief power outage will start midnight Saturday with restoration expected an hour later. Consumers says affected customers have already been notified. A backup date is scheduled for Sunday, December 14th, if there's any weather or unforeseen issues.
Donations are set to be delivered in Saginaw today. These are personal hygiene items collected on behalf of local military veterans. They were donated during the 8th annual Fill the Trailer project. It's a 3-month-long drive organized by the Great Lakes Bay Veterans Coalition. Well, this year's donation included more than 270 boxes and totes, weighing approximately 6,000 pounds. Those donations will be delivered this morning to the VA Medical Center in Saginaw. Let's check back with Matthew.
Yeah, and for that 7-day forecast, again, pretty cold as we go into this upcoming weekend. We see temps turning back around next week. We're actually above freezing, upper 30s as we go towards Wednesday, Thursday, potentially even Friday next week too. Could be more of a short-term pattern change, but still we'll be breaking out of these real cold temps by the end of next week.
All right, Matthew, thank you for those updates, and thanks for joining us this morning and watching TV5 Morning Extra.
We will see you for TV5 News at 9. Have a great day.